Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another comic book review, and this time we've got DC and Marvel being reviewed in this, starting off with DC's Crime Syndicate, issue 2, and of course America Chavez, Made in the USA, issue 2. So, time to begin on Crime Syndicate. Starting off with the rating of the cover, does this cover in any way help shape what happens in the story? You bet it does, and to which I gave the cover a 7 out of 10. So time to move into the internal art, which I'll show at the beginning, middle and end. This is some of the art around the beginning. Some art around the middle. And now we'll finally move on to the end. This ender is actually with the additional backup story, which they cover the character of Night Owl, which was really enjoyable. And this is where I gave the art overall a 7 out of 10. But what about the story? How did the story work out? As you know, I like to enjoy looking out for certain things within my story, such as is it easy to identify the cast of characters? Surprisingly, it was. And it was really good that it was done in here. We, of course, had Night Owl, Ultraman, Superwoman of this Earth 3, Emerald Knight, I'm missing one that I sort of wrote weirdly, but that's okay. I can move on to the next thing, which is the locations, which I do enjoy seeing the locations being brought out in stories, as it also gives a bit of a character to the location as to how it's used. We got to visit Metropolis, Arnold, DC, and of course Gotham City. Time period as to when a certain event took place. That happened in the additional story, to which we came up with the time period of 2012. Very nice. This story is taken by the viewpoint of Night Owl, and this is where the additional story is also taken from the viewpoint of Night Owl and some of the people that he meets along the way, including Ultraman, Superwoman, Emerald Knight. The list continues of who you visit in this, and eventually he's wanting to go up against the main character of this universe, being Ultraman, but that won't be saved until probably next chapter or next issue. You do get to see him fighting a type of villain at the beginning. Apart from that, I gave this story a 6.5 out of 10, which I'm very surprised. It's not very high, but I still enjoyed what I read of the story. So time to move on to America Chavez. So as we move on to America Chavez within this review, did this cover art help in any way relay what was happening within the story? Not really. We didn't really get to see this in relation to the story, but it was alright for what it is, to which I gave the cover a 6 out of 10. Now, in regards to the internal art, let's have a look at the beginning, middle, and end. Starting off with the beginning now. This is some art at the beginning of the story. I'll now move to the middle. This is the art exactly in the middle of the story. I totally enjoyed what was done here, as there also is an encounter with a bit of a mystery character along the way. And I'm wondering, does she have maybe a legitimate biological brother? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I'll now move to some art towards the end of the story. Absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed the art in this, to which I gave the art 7.5 out of 10. I must admit, I'm actually enjoying this version of America Chavez. And that'll show in relation to my rating of the story. And you'll soon find out how I rated the story. Now, one good thing with this story is that, yes, we still get our great cast of characters with America Chavez. We also encounter Spider-Man. And one other character which I have written terribly. Oh, that's right. It was actually her adoptive brother, Guido. I finally recognized what I wrote. And that was really nice, because you got to see some of her interactions with that character, moving from the past in some flashbacks to eventually the present, which took place throughout the story. We also got the locations of Washington Heights and one other place. Sorry, I've written it terribly again, but I'm going to have to leave it. But one thing that really made this story work was actually when the writer was using the flashbacks. The order it sort of went in is 10 years ago, then we got to see the present, then it dropped to 6 years ago, so you got to see a bit of a time period of a bit of transition between the previous years, or the 10 year to the 6 year, and of course it came back to the present after that again, and then eventually 3 years ago, then back to the present. I enjoyed this because it showed a lot of transition and a lot of change around the characters she knows around, sort of like her adoptive family, as well as her own personal things that she experienced with this family, including discovering that she had superpowers. I really liked that. There was no comic references in this, though it probably wouldn't hurt, even if they decided to do a comic reference, say, to the original America Chavez run, not the Gabby Rivera one. But if you like the Gabby Rivera one, no hate towards you. If you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. But this is where I gave the story a 7.5 out of 10. I think what I might do is I'll probably stop collecting this, and I'll wait for the trade to come out, and I'm going to pick up the trade, and maybe what I could do is a review of just the exact of this whole trade, covering the beginning, middle, and end of the whole story overall, and see if the story rating actually drops or lowers. Until then, please don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you enjoy the content, please let me know. If there's something you'd like me to maybe cover or review on the channel, or maybe talk about on the channel, let me know. I'm always up for new suggestions or ideas, or if there's anything that you've enjoyed on the channel, let me know what you have enjoyed, let me know what you haven't. Until then, let's keep it colourful. If you've now made it to the end of this video, have yourself an awesome day.